Aunt Tammy with TNT Grace and Grit. Yesterday I did a little funny with my little red microphone but announcing that on March 4th, 2026, Kentucky is going to be doing a tornado siren testing. So, with the National Weather Service. So I'm going to get serious with you today in this, and I do have notes because I don't want to forget anything. So it's items that are suggested by the National Weather Service. First of all, you need your weather radio. I don't know if I can get that over here, but you've seen it in my video yesterday. Now, my radio is battery only. I do have on order one that is wind up, and actually I have one in our camping gear, which is out in the shed. Not a good place for it, and that is on me. But I have on order, it's a battery and a wind up backup NOAA weather. I think it's actually a radio too, then it has NOAA on it as well. So I will have that in my kit. So moving on, make sure you plan ahead. Make a severe weather plan before you need it. Your family may not be together when a disaster strikes, so it's important to plan in advance on how you will get to a safe place and how you will contact one another and how you will get back together and what you will do in different situations. So make sure you talk about it with your family and have a plan ready. Emergency items, and this comes straight from the National Weather Service. You'll need easy access to many emergency items in the event of extreme weather. In addition to basic survival needs, don't forget other supplies such as medication, chargers, and hygiene products. Also have important personal and property documents, at least copies of them with you. Have a go bag ready to take things with you if you need to leave in a hurry. A tornado emergency kit should be sturdy, easy to carry container containing at least 3 days of supplies. Water, 1 gallon per person per day. Non-perishable food, a NOAA weather radio, flashlights, extra batteries, a first aid kit, and a whistle. Include essential documents, medications, sturdy shoes, helmets, and a multi-tool. Now, a thing like this you would have in probably a tote with a lid on it and have it in your basement or your storm shelter. If you live in a home that does not have a basement or storm shelter, try to at least go somewhere to where you would be safe. Now, if you're at home and it comes up on you quick, because tornadoes can drop out of the sky anytime they want to, then you're going to go to your most interior room of your home without windows if possible. Make sure you have your head covered as well. So if you think it's possible and you're not going to be able to leave for whatever reason, have at least the most items that you can have with you in that interior room or closet with you. The essential tornado items, you have your safety and communication. Again, your NOAA weather radio, battery and hand crank, flashlight, extra batteries, whistle, so you can signal for help in case, God forbid, that you are something is caved in on you, then you can blow that whistle. Try to have one on a necklace around your neck. And have a cell phone with a backup power bank. And make sure that all of those are topped off just in case you're going to need them. Survival supplies. Again, 1 gallon of water per person per day. Non-perishable food, protein bars, canned foods, and a manual can opener. Now, this is if you're going to be in the basement. You're going to have those in a tote or in your storm shelter. You can have a lot of these in there with you just to be prepared. I understand that if you're going into a closet or into the bathroom, that you're not going to be able to have all this in there with you all the time. But at least have your extra lights and your radio with you. Medical and sanitation. Again, first aid kit. 7-day supply of medications. This is case like for your bag, your ready bag that you're going to grab if you are going to leave. Your moist towelettes to clean up, garbage bags, plastic ties, and sanitation wipes. Again, don't forget your important documentation. And for comfort, have your blanket, even if it's just a lap blanket, something that's big enough to go from your shoulders down to your feet. Doesn't have to be a major, full, queen, king-size blanket. Sorry, I had to stop for a minute because my dogs decided they wanted to have a little play on the bed, so I had to calm them down. But anyway, a blanket. It doesn't have to be a giant blanket, just something big enough just for comfort. Maybe a light jacket too, because where you're going might be cooler. Make sure you have cash. And I've discussed this before in videos. You want to have cash that are small. You want dollar bills, 5s, 10s, 20s, nothing much bigger than that. Because if the tornado is bad enough, it's probably going to have knocked down the electricity. So you want to be able to give as close to exact amount due as you possibly can. Your tornado specific preparedness tips. Keep all your items accessible. Store your kit in your designated safe room. Example, in your basement, your storm cellar, your interior bathroom. Again, you could take those in there if there's a possibility of a tornado coming through. You're not going to be able to leave your home. Don't forget a helmet. That is one thing that we do not have, and we are going to be getting those soon as well. It protects your head against flying debris, which is a major cause of injuries during tornadoes. And that's common sense, but I never really thought about it, but it's got to be. That's why they always told us in school to cover our heads. You need a utility tool to include a wrench or pliers to turn off gas and water if need be. Now, this video is very, very short, but I want to tell you a story. In 1974, I was 9 years old, and we had tornadoes to go through, and I don't remember how many states that it came through, but by the time it got to our area, it did hit Elizabethtown, I think in a couple areas in Hardin County. Like I said, I was 9 years old. I remember that Meade County, specifically Brandenburg, got hit terribly. Several states was in this 1974 tornado outbreak. It was awful. I forgot how long that they were on the grounds. But my dad and mom and I drove over the next day to see if there was something that we could help with. And I saw things that a 9-year-old should never see. And I think once my daddy realized how bad it was, he told me to lay down in the back seat and to not look because it was terrible. I saw a cow in a tree pierced by a branch, and there was no blood on it. And for years I couldn't figure out why it wasn't bleeding. But then I realized later that it had already bled out. I saw a tractor in a tree. I saw a house that was pierced with a tree. Not a tree on top of it. The tree went through the house, and then the house, of course, caved in on top of it. It was terrible. These are memories that are burnt into my head, to my memory. I will never, ever forget. And I'm 61. I've never forgotten it. For years, I was terrified of storms, not just tornadoes, but terrified of storms. And my mom was too. I remember her packing me up in the middle of the night, in the middle of a storm sometimes, because she'd wait till the last minute, wrap me up in a blanket, and pack me up the street to her best friend's house so we could go down in the basement. And so for years, I would do this the same with my kids. I was wrapping them up. And by the time that I ended up with 3 kids, because I had twins, and trying to get all 3 of these kids out. And storms always happen when it's dark or in the middle of the night. But packing all these kids and getting and leaving my house and going somewhere safe got to be a lot, especially whenever I would go and then 100% of the time and we never got hit by a tornado. Thank you, God. And the winds were not bad enough to harm anything or tear our home up that we lived in. So I ended up saying, fine. I ended up educating myself. And now I know to look on the map and look for our county and see where that storm is at, where that tornado warning is at. And it's always usually either north of us or down south. But we have had them to come into Runnyville, where we live, as close as about 3 miles down the road from us. Luckily, it never hit our home, and we are very blessed, and I thank God so much for that. And where I live right now, I do not have a storm shelter. I do not have a basement. We have an interior room, and again, I have educated myself enough to know if it's going to be coming our way, then I will make sure that we have enough time to leave, to go somewhere to where we would be protected. So, now that I made it so dark, and I'm sorry, but, I just want everybody to know how serious it can be. And I'll put a plug in here for Ryan Hall, because I trust him, and he tells down to the exact streets and businesses where storms, winds, hail, tornadoes are heading or are at, so that we have time to get to safety. So thanks, Ryan, for that. We appreciate it. So I will let you go for now. Again, make sure you have your radio, make sure you have your protection, your go bag. Stay safe, educate yourself, be beautiful. Bye for now. Love you guys.